105 The Blaze. My name's E. Curtis Johnson. So happy to talk to Mark LaBelle, lead singer of Dirty Honey. Hello, Mark.
What's going on? Good to talk to you again, obviously.
And John Notto. John, am I pronouncing your name right?
You are. That's correct.
All
and
right.
Thank you.
Cool. On a Monday, no less. John is the guitarist. They are with Dirty Honey, a band that I like to think I kind of helped discover. Maybe taking too much credit for that. And
you can take all the credit you want.
It's a thrill to talk to you guys. And it's rare do I ever get a chance to talk to somebody that I've actually physically met. The boys here may not remember it, but they came to Fresno on November 14th, 2019 to play at Strummers. We did a couple of live songs in the studio. We had a pretty good time. And then, of course, they asked the logical question, hey, are you going to come and see us tonight? And then being the, honest man that I am, I says, well, tonight's my wife's birthday, and she's been planning something for a long time. And quite frankly, as much as I like you guys, I don't plan on sleeping with any of you. So, no, I'm not.
That's because you hadn't seen the show.
I hadn't seen the show. And four guys in Dirty Honey, their faces just dropped. They look so disappointed. It's like, what kind of loser have we been hanging out with for the last hour and a half?
I don't know about that. We will. I remember that day very well, actually. I remember showing up to the gig and thinking like 100 people were showing up, and the bartender was like, "It's sold out."
Yeah.
And that was an extremely memorable night for all of us because we obviously didn't expect it. And looking back, of course, Fresno would be an awesome rock and roll town. There's so many like great live performances I remember listening to as a kid and hearing Fresno, being one of the takes they used for the live record or whatever. So it seems obvious now looking back, but yeah, it was a great day meeting you, obviously going in studio and then doing the show was amazing.
Yeah. Good times. So a couple of questions for you here. So you have the distinction of being an unsigned band. For the average listener here, what that means is they're not they don't have a contract with a record label. And in that unsigned category, you made rock history. You had the first #1 song with Miss Me When I'm Gone, and then Rolling Sevens went top 4 on the charts, all being unsigned. It's really unheard of. Any progress on that, or is that even a concern to you right now of being officially associated with a label?
We haven't really given it much thought. I think we're somewhat insulated from those sort of like label business conversations, and rightly so. I don't really know what goes on in that world, but I think we're all really content not having a label. I know our manager is kind of like, we don't really need it. It doesn't make any sense for us at this point. And I think, certainly from the radio point of view, the feedback, from our management team has been people kind of like not getting hassled by radio people to, like not getting hassled by radio people, but like radio promotion people that work for a label all the time, to play whatever. But yeah, it seems like it's working just fine now. We don't have too many cooks in the kitchen, and, unless somebody makes you an offer you can't refuse, I don't see it changing anytime soon.
Well, that's good. So, COVID problems and all of that, I think I saw some dates on a world tour. I swear I saw some dates for you guys in Europe, and then COVID hit. So the question is, from that huge pile of manure that was COVID, what has bloomed out of that for Dirty Honey?
Well, certainly the album is the biggest bloom so far. And I think the extra time absolutely paid off. I think the response to the record has shown that. And even without the response before it was done, I think when we were listening to the final mixes, we just knew how much the record benefited from the extra time. We were able to get, 12 songs written, or 11, I think, recorded. And obviously we decided on 8. And I think we put out a perfect record from start to finish, in the sense that, it just plays, it's just great. And I think it wouldn't have been that, if we had gone when scheduled. Obviously, the rest of our situation totally got crapped on. That being an incredible schedule, it was just going to be a lucrative, and I think also, I don't know what the word is. Our name would have spread globally, of course. But I think we strengthened our name with a better record. So that's for sure the big takeaway.
Yeah.
And we are able to salvage some commitments that we had from the year prior. So that's going to be exciting once we announce that.
That's good. So no planned touring dates yet?
Well, we have the California Dreaming Tour, which we announced last week. And that's going to be mostly the states that are, open and willing to have pretty much shows as regular. That's going to be Southwest, Midwest. And then we have something in the works coming up after that we're going to announce in another week. So, which would be very exciting.
Well, that's good news. So LA has always been a strong music scene for rock. Bands like Guns N' Roses, Chili Peppers, Rage Against the Machine, Metallica. I mean, even going back to the late 60s, the Byrds, Buffalo Springfield came out of L.A. I really liked your video, California Dreaming. It's like a tourist dream there, looking at all of these things.
Yeah.
Did any of that L.A. music scene, influence you, in that video or that song? Do you feel a part of that?
We kind of, it's funny, I spoke to Slash about this when we were on the road with him. He was like, how was it, like, coming up in LA? And I was like, it's very different from your experience. We kind of avoided the Sunset Strip because it's turned into a pay to play sort of vibe where you have to pay $500 and until you recoup those ticket sales or whatever, you don't make any money. So we kind of went the other direction and went to bars that would pay us $500 to play, and we would play for 4 hours a night and do our thing. So, we definitely cut our teeth in LA, but in a different way than the bands of the 70s and 80s and 90s, rock scenes. So it shaped us. It did shape us, but it was certainly a much different experience. But yeah, to your point with the video, it was a very nice way to travel through California. We just didn't have any time in any of those places to actually enjoy them, unfortunately.
Well, as somebody who's lived in California for half my life now, it was great. It was great music, great scenes, good marketing, and sometimes a video has to be about good marketing. Now, speaking of that, here's a name that average radio listener would know, Nick DiDia. Among others, Nick has produced albums for guys like Alice Cooper, Audioslave, 6 Bruce Springsteen albums, Danzig, 3 Incubus albums, Killswitch Engage, Korn, Local H, The Offspring, 6 Pearl Jam albums, Rage Against the Machine, 6 STPT albums, dozens of others, and a band that we all know and love, Dirty Honey. So the question I have is, when you found out that Nick was going to be producing your EP and then your album, was your reaction, 1, who's he, or 2, holy crap, or 3, damn straight this guy's producing us, he's worthy of us? Which one applies?
It was probably
like the first two combined.
Yeah, the first two combined for sure. I actually mentioned it to our manager because we were toying with going with this other producer, and it fell through. And I said, what if we get what did you ever send us to Nick DiDia? And he was like, let me do that right now. And Nick got it right away, to his credit, and we figured out a way pretty quickly to get out to Australia and Byron Bay, where he lives, to go to his studio there and record. And we kind of did it because it was a cost thing.
Because you toured in Australia too at the same time, didn't you?
We were going to this time around. We were supposed to go to Australia to record for this most recent record, and then we were going to do some shows in Australia and Japan, but all of that got canceled because of COVID, and we had to make other plans. But we were still able to work with Nick via Zoom, because he couldn't come to the States, obviously, and it worked incredibly well, I got to say. We were all hesitant about it, but He was great. He was great right from the beginning. He just understood what we needed, understood how to capture the nuance of, the live rock and roll band. And I think he did it again on this LP.
I would agree. Now, as I mentioned before, I'm a big fan of marketing. That, quite frankly, for a radio station, for soap, for a band, it is a reality in the oversaturated media world that we live in. So, in preparing for this interview, I run across in of all things, Psychology Today, an interview with some lead singer from some band called Dirty Honey, Mark LaBelle. Here in you're getting your head shrinked in this article.
Yeah,
It's amazing. Particularly I'm reading about you, living in your car, showering, at a club, not a club, excuse me, a gym.
Jim.
Playing gigs. I mean, that shows some incredible passion and some belief in what you're doing. I hope you're still not sleeping in your car.
Well, COVID certainly has financially shoved us in that direction, but I haven't gotten onto those dark days again yet. But that was honestly, I don't know if I've really said this publicly too much, but that's kind of what When I'm Gone was about, and California Dreamin' is my experience living in LA during that time. It's not, sometimes it can not be what it's cracked up to be, if that makes any sense.
No, it does. The audience, the listeners, the concert goers, they don't realize the price that people pay for their art. And I don't want to sound saccharine with that, but it's true. Sometimes when you really believe in yourself and you really believe in something, the creature comforts don't always come first. You earn your stripes. You put your work out there. You hope people respond to it, and I salute you for that. Hey, I need to respect the time of the other interviews you're doing here, so I've just got one other question. Mark, this is specifically for you because it's from one hat guy to another hat guy. I'm always wearing hats.
Yeah.
You seem to have two different hats. One is what I would call a Mad Hatter style. And the other it's like a cross between a Panama and a Stockman style. So what's with the hats? I mean, I like them, but what's the story?
There's actually, I probably have now about 16 or 18 hats, and there's they all come from this hat maker in Venice named Nick Fouquet. He literally has a shop right down the street from where I live, and I ride by it every day. And I can't help but go in there. I'm just drawn to these freaking hats. And I've become pretty tight with them, but still haven't gotten a discount yet.
Oh, bummer.
And they're extremely expensive. They're crazy expensive, but I like them. They're just a good way to show your personality. And I think in some ways, a lot of my favorite artists had signature things like that, from Stevie Ray Vaughan to Slash to Steven Tyler and Leon Russell. They all had a thing with, hats, whether they were always changing them out. And just fashion as a whole is synonymous with rock and roll.
Oh, without question. Well, you wear it well. It's a memorable.
Unless you're Eddie Van Halen.
I'm sorry. What was that, John?
Unless you're Eddie Van Halen, he was like, I don't care what I wear. I'm just gonna wear a T-shirt.
And that works too. That works too. So
it could. It worked for Kurt Cobain.
Well, for a while it did. Yes, absolutely. All right. I need. Sorry, I'm a blunt person. I need
dark joke. Love it.
I need to respect your schedule here. Mark, John, thank you so much for your time. We've been speaking with Dirty Honey. Go out and buy their new album. Let's support this great band.
And say hi to the Jennings family out there in Fresno for us. Great rock and roll family.
Super fan. They're a super family. Super fans.
Super family.
Super family.
They're
They
great.
are. They're all great.
awesome.
They're all great.
A family. I like it. All right. The Jennings family in Fresno. We love you.
Oh!
Thank you, guys. I'll let you go.
Hey,
All right.
thank you.
Thanks, Steve. We'll see you soon, hopefully, man. Stay
All right.
well.
It was fun. Bye-bye.